This video is for anyone who has forgotten how to be productive. Hello my diamonds, welcome back to another video, and if you are new here, it's nice to have you. My name is Rita Otong. Feel free to join the family if you like this video, okay? As the thumbnail says, I disappeared for 259 days. That is approximately 8 months and about 17 days. I'm finally out of that crazy stage, and I decided to make this video for anyone who is finding themselves in that continuous loop right now, where they keep making decisions that are leading them away from their dreams instead of towards their dreams. Disclaimer please, I'm not an expert. I'm just here to share my personal experience with you, what I learned from it, and how I was able to pull myself out of it. Trust me, my case was extremely bad. I watched myself make decisions that took me further and further away from my goals every single day. So if I can come out of it, so can you. Now, for a short backstory, what was I doing for 259 days, you may be wondering? Well, life took me in so many new and different directions, some of them good, some of them bad, and I got so overwhelmed with everything that I told myself, let me just take a break. I'll come back next week. And next week turned to 2 weeks, 2 weeks turned to a month, and a month turned to 8 months, and time just kept passing, and that's how I ended up here with nothing achieved on the long form side of my YouTube channel. This is actually the first thing I want you to take away from this video. Doing is what makes your thoughts become 3D and show up in reality. I thought of YouTube every day, what I'll post, what I'll film, when I'll film the videos, but no matter how much I thought about YouTube, no long form video appeared on my channel because I didn't do it. So nothing happened. Our reality will always be a product of the things we do, not the things we think about, not the things we fantasize about. And so as I kept procrastinating every single day, doing nothing to achieve my goals, that was how I ended up with 8 months of absolutely nothing. I'm so happy I'm out of there and I'm back. Here are 4 things I did to finally get out of that loop and start showing up for myself again, chasing my dreams and my goals again. You don't have to follow these tips in any particular order. Just pick the one that is the easiest for you to do right now, and then others can come afterwards. Number 1. Now, the first thing I did was to self-reflect and tell myself the truth without sugarcoating. What was the problem? Why did the problem start? When did it start? Why was I running away from my dreams and my goals instead of towards them? Journaling is very important for this. I took out my journal, answered all these questions, and this gave me a lot of clarity and perspective on my situation at that point and why it was happening. And please note that writing all this down is very important because you are going to need it later. Number 2, I started watching content that motivated me, watching people that are successful, especially in my field. YouTube is so good for this. There's so much motivating content on YouTube. Just search your situation and you see someone that is there to encourage you. That's why I love YouTube so much. I watched videos on discipline and productivity. I even read a book on discipline and productivity as well, and taking your life back. And it helps a lot to prepare your mind and get your mind in the right place, because when your mind is ready to move, it's going to force your body to move and to start being productive. I even watched some of my old videos where I was very active on YouTube. This video in particular actually reminded me of something so important that I had forgotten, that what I do every day actually matters the most. You literally become the thing you spend most of your time doing. If I was spending my time doing every other thing except posting long form content on YouTube, then I can't really call myself a YouTuber. What you want actually has to be the thing you spend most of your time and energy doing, not something else. Number 3, once my mind started waking up, I started making plans. The goal was just to get started and to build momentum. So I just kept it simple and sustainable. I just took out today and laid out a plan of simple little things I can do every day to get myself moving and productive again. And then I wrote down what I would like to achieve every week. And remember that list of honesty that I told you to write about what the problem was, how did it start, all those things that I told you to answer before and write it down. I used that list to prepare for everything that could rise up as a form of hindrance or rise up as a problem and stop me from executing the plans that I was making. This is why it's very important to identify everything that made you stop in the first place, so that you can plan against those things and plan what you will do if those things should come up again. You literally have to create a countermeasure for these things that stopped you in the first place, so that you don't fall into the same cycle again. For example, it's currently rainy season, and one of the things that stops me from taking like 10,000 steps a day is the weather. Like, you wake up in the morning and it's raining seriously. Waking up late, you don't want to do anything. That's just how the vibe is on a rainy morning. Okay, so I know that yes, the weather is one of the things that stops me from taking my 10,000 steps. So what did I do? I created a playlist of indoor workouts that I can do if the weather is bad. So now whenever the weather is bad, I don't have any excuse not to work out. I have created an alternative, a countermeasure to make sure that that day doesn't pass me by without working out. So as you plan for what you want to do, make sure you also plan against all those things that you don't want to do, and for anything that will be a hindrance to you executing your plan. This is why it's so important to identify your problems so that you can actually create a system that can counter these problems anytime they come up. If you watch the video to this point, don't forget to give it a like, drop a comment, and please subscribe. Now last but not the least, number 4. This is literally something new I started doing and it works so well. I got a new system to keep me accountable, and this system is possible for anybody. I spoke to someone who already has a functioning work and productivity routine. 9 to 5ers already have this. This person actually works 8 hours, which is the typical 9 to 5 working hours. I don't have a 9 to 5, but I wanted to have those long hours of work and productivity. So I simply told this person, you know what? Whenever you start work, I will also start work, and I will start with you and end with you. So as long as you are working, guess what? I'm also going to be working. Whether I want to work on my channel, on my content, on my business, anything, I'm just going to start working the same hours that you are working. And trust me when I say this has been a game changer. I mean, I struggled at first, but I'm seeing that I have more productive hours and I'm able to do more every single day because I'm now having the work routine of a 9 to 5er who doesn't have a choice. So if you want to build a work or exercise routine, you don't have to stress yourself and start thinking too much. Just speak to someone who already has that routine down. Even if the person is not in your field, just use that person's work time or exercise time as a template for yours until it's part of you and you've adapted to that level of productivity. Then you can shift the time, shift the hours anyhow you want, but this is just to get you back on your feet. The truth is, none of these steps magically fixed my life overnight, but they helped me to start making a different set of decisions every day until I was eventually seated here and filming my first long form video after 8 months, aka 259 days. All right, my diamonds, I hope this video helps you to start moving, to start doing, and to start making better decisions every day that will lead you closer and closer to your goals. What you're going through is part of human nature. A slump is not the end. You can actually start again and get back on your feet. Start with the simple and the easiest things you can do right now. Trust me, you will be back on your feet eventually. Now we have come to the very end of this video, and if you learned anything from this video, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Okay, bye.